Well, that doesn't surprise you. 374, Nick? That's it?
Yeah, that's all she wrote that night.
I figured you'd try to pull a Gerlach and park it in the grass at Highland. So.
Well, hey, I was trying.
You were trying, I understand. So, hey, welcome everybody. Happy Halloween. Elsing has his mask on. He looks, that was my joke. I had to get it in there first before Greg did. So,
great. Got to get that dig in.
Well, he's mean to me off air, everybody. Once the camera turns on, he's all sweet and stuff, but off air, he's really mean to me. He's really mean to me. So, every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we do Down and Dirty with the Badger State Track and Tractor Pullers. Greg Elsing is the president of the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Normally, John Stranley's on here as well, one of our voices of the Badger State Tractor Pullers, but he's out trick-or-treating tonight, which means AKA he's drinking beer and holding his kid's hand so Ross doesn't get run out in front of somebody or things like that. But our first guest tonight is going to be Nick Gallitz and possibly Tom Gallitz, your 2022.
We actually got everybody in here now.
Yay! Your limited Pro Stock points champion. And then our second guest tonight will be Blain Stamm's coming on in about a half an hour with the Pro Stock. So we're highlighting our Badger State points champions and celebrating a great 2022 season and learning about that story. So I know Nick and Tom, and they're all farming tonight.
We got Kathy and Heather in here now with us too.
The whole
That's a big cab.
family.
You all in one tractor?
We're in Heather's truck here now.
Okay.
Can we focus more on Kathy and Heather on less than you two? So.
Right? The brains of the operation.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
What did Heather tell me in Monroe that why you don't drive the tractor, Heather? What did you say?
Probably something about I would wreck it too much, or I don't remember what I said.
It was a good line, and I wish I would have remembered it. It was a good line. I don't remember. I'll think about it.
I don't remember either.
We're gonna keep working on
it. Yep. So
let us know where you're watching from tonight, everybody. Throw it in the comments, and if you have any comments or questions for the Gallitz family, please type them. Please type it in the comments. I'll put them up on the screen and do that from there. Heather, let's start with you. How old are you now, Heather?
I'm 22.
What is your first truck and tractor pulling memory of your dad or your mom?
Probably down at Louisville.
Wow, that's a good memory.
Yeah.
Remember the big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know if it was first or third that Dad got. I don't remember what year it was, but I remember having to go down on the track.
That would have been the Super Farm days, right, Tom?
Yeah, that would have been probably in 05 or 2006.
As far as I'm concerned, you guys should have stayed in that super farm class and then just left us other 4-1 guys alone. So.
No, that would make it too easy for you, Jason.
Hey,
nothing comes easy for Schultz. You know that.
No, here's the deal.
He drives the struggle bus.
I have a $100 bill from Tom Gallitz, and I am getting that framed. And because I won a little bit of bet with Mr. Gallitz, and he just threw his money at me and walked away. So it was perfect. So I enjoyed that. I got to get it out there because normally Gallitz beats me, but every now and then I get lucky. So it's all good.
We're gonna have
late to the pull, Tom. Tom must have been late to the pull. Didn't get the pull.
Hey, a win's a win, Elsie. A win's a win. So it's all good. Nick, what's your first polling memory of mom and dad?
I've always been told we went to Bowling Green in 2004, and I don't remember much, but I remember Al and I must have gotten a little shenanigans that night because we came home and Gretchen Wilson was on TV, and I'm always told I come running through the living room and saying, "Wow, look at the rack on that one." And apparently, Bowling Green's kind of wild.
That was a true story.
Yeah, no, because I'm sitting here going Bowling Green, and you don't remember in 2004. I'm like, oh, Nick, you weren't old enough to be drinking then, so I guess this is gonna be good.
No, Nick would have been about 5 or 6.
Yeah, look at the rack on that one. Oh, that's definitely a Bowling Green T-shirt if I've ever heard one before.
Did you learn all that sitting up at the table, announcer's table with Kelly and Amy? And we were
They had to be the bad influence.
way back when?
Yes, they were the bad influence, guaranteed.
Right. It was probably their fault.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Kathy, can you hear us?
Yep, I can.
How did the Gallitzes get into polling? How did this all start from you guys? Can you start at the beginning?
Well, Tom used to pull truck.
What?
And then
What? Stop! Time out!
That was a while ago.
You were a door slammer, Gallitz?
That was a while ago. Now, this is something that Schultz shouldn't have learned.
and then I don't know. I guess. Well, I was pregnant with Nick when we went and bought. Yeah, Tom originally started using my 766 to go pulling, and
that was her farm tractor.
And I had hay to make the next day, and I told him, I said, "Don't you dare wreck my tractor." I said, "I got hay to make." Well, he ended up wrecking it. So I didn't have very good hay made. So
my name was not Tom at that point.
I told him, I said, "No more." I said, "You go buy your own."
And that is now running in the red.
Back to Tom having a truck. Tom, I need more. What class? What was the name of it? What year? Who'd you pull with? More, Tom. Tell me more.
That would have been what is now today's super stock trucks, big block Chevy, and I think it was kind of some of the people that are in Badger truck today. I mean, obviously, that was back when I was 18, 19, 20 years old, so that goes back a while. And, yeah, okay, 22, 24, whatever. But, so we just out of high school and put myself a truck together or whatever, and me and a buddy had my Chevy was a 73, I think we called it, and he had an 84 or something, and we called it the Blue Ox Pulling Team. They were both blue Chevys, and we called them Babe 1 and Babe 2.
Babe 1 and Babe 2. Nick, are there any pictures in the house anywhere?
I don't think so. We don't have. There's one picture of the 2 trucks. We had a long trailer. We put 2 trucks behind my pickup truck, and we pulled them both full. There's one picture, I think, of that somewhere.
We need to find that. we need to find that. No, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so you broke Kathy's 766, and then you went and bought something. Kind of take us through the chronological order of how it all came together.
We bought a 1466 farm tractor on a Sunday, came home with it, took the cab off, down to the working injection pump, went down to Elkhorn on Wednesday, the following Wednesday, and ended up winning one class and then
Did they just drive through a hole, Elsie?
I think their Wi-Fi gave up.
I think so. We lost you there. Is it better now?
There we go.
Okay, perfect. So start over. So you bought a 1466 on a Sunday. You brought it home and took the cab off. That's the last thing we heard.
Yeah, and then turned the injection pump up a little bit, went down to Elkhorn to the Walworth County Fair, and pulled it. The first class I won, and then the second class I blew the engine. So it was a very typical tractor scenario. Pull, fix, and repeat.
Yep.
So then in probably 2002, 2003, this is how we got together with Al Wright. We bought his, maybe it was about 2003. We bought his pro stock engine when him and Charlie had it out. I know Greg, you probably remember that. The Wright Brothers Fly and Binder, and we bought the engine out of there, and that was our first better super farm.
So what year would that have been, Tom?
Had to be 2002 or 2003, okay. And that's when Al jumped on board with us. Okay.
Greg, what year did you start Badger State? When did it get going?
I want to say in 2003 or 4. Right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, 2003 or 4, somewhere in there.
Okay. So was that called Super Farm then, Tom?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then I know you guys had some really successful years on the Champions Tour. I know that would have been what, late 09, 08, or what would that have been?
2010.
Okay.
2009 came out with the second tractor.
2009 Red Hot came out.
Okay. And then when did we had some success with those? How many Badger State championships or Lucas Oil Champions Tour championships did you have during those years? You remember?
Just the one. We were first and second in 2010 on the Champion Tour, and then 2011 we were second and fifth, I believe, and then in 12 we switched to 4-1.
2012. Okay, got it. And then Nick, when did you start driving? Because didn't you win points your first year?
My first year was 14. I ended up winning the points, and my first pass down the track was at Utica in 2013.
When he was just 15.
That's like during the ocean, Elsie. We lost Greg. Oh, there you are.
I'm here.
Okay, just making sure.
I think. Yep.
So you drove Nick, can you hear me?
Yep.
So you drove the tractor in 2013 for the first time at Utica, and then you won the points in 2014 then. Okay.
Correct. Yep. Then in 15, Mom won the points. And then we had a little dry spell for a while.
Then we sucked after that for a while.
Well, this year things came together really well.
Yeah.
So.
It worked out. It worked out pretty good.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, we got the whole Gallett's family in the car at the same time. Tom's pet. And what's your dog's name, Tom?
That's Heather's.
That's Heather's dog.
Okay.
Nelly.
What kind of dog is it?
French Bulldog.
Okay. Because all I can really see is the top of his head because the rest of it's dark. Yeah, Tom. Aw.
Does it do anything but eat and poop?
No. Causes me a lot of headaches.
There you go.
That's what dogs do. If anybody has any questions or comments for the Gallett's family, please type them into the comments. That'd be awesome. We'll throw them up there on the screen. So, Greg, you got any questions?
Yeah, what was the toughest thing to overcome in your points championship this year to make it work?
Well,
did you have any struggles?
We've struggled for years and years with tires, and we finally found some tires that worked.
Yeah. What kind of tires did you end up with?
For $1,000, I'll answer that question, please.
Well, I know what they are. You got to tell everybody else.
Yeah, I know what they are too. So I mean, we can go look at them. So
we got in touch with Bob Nichols down in Ohio, and Bob is very, very passionate about his tires, and that's what he does for a living, and he made them work for us. and he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy until we were kind of put out front.
He did a good job for you.
Yeah, he did a great job for you.
They worked well. The motors worked well. Running in the red.
They drove into a cave again, Greg. So
Right.
they're back. They're back.
It needed an overhaul bad.
Start over when you said running in the red, blank, blank, blank. So
Running in the red needed a motor bad toward the end of the season here. We were just crossing our fingers that it would hold together for Monroe.
gotcha.
It's in the motor shop right now.
How close was it heading into Monroe?
We just had to hook to the sled.
Okay.
Mom was fighting for second with Gerlach, and Gerlach had a little bit nicer pass and got ahead of her, and that was a fight for second all year.
Okay. Craig Ledwig says, Gallups Pro Stock 2023, please, Kathy. What is that? What's that all about?
What's that?
What's that? Oh,
So Craig Ledwig is looking for a Gallups Pro Stock, please, Kathy 2023.
Not happening.
We're going to save the pro stocks for the big guys. Us little guys can't afford them.
Fair enough.
Right.
Favorite class, Nick, what's your favorite class besides 4-1?
I really like watching the light pro class. I mean, when they get hooked in on a really good track, I think they're pretty fun.
Okay. Heather, what's your favorite class besides 4-1?
Semis.
Yeah, that'll go.
I keep telling Dad, get rid of both tractors and let's get some semis going.
You know, your dad has a semi that pulls the tractors to the pole that could probably compete. That's all I'm going to say.
I think we have plenty to choose from.
Yeah, I think so too. Kathy, what's your favorite class besides 4-1?
I'd have to say a super farm.
Really? I figured you'd say full stock for some reason. So
No, I always like the super farm.
nice. Tom, what about you, buddy?
I guess I'd have to say pro stock.
Yep.
But the only way I'll ever get one is if Greg lets me drive his.
Right. I can. What's your favorite pull, Tom?
That's a good question. I guess I kind of like Jefferson, not just because we pull there, but just how it's laid out and it's a decent track. There's a lot of pulls that would make my favorite pull list, but I guess I gotta say Jefferson.
Okay. The rest of you guys feel the same way, or what do you think?
I always enjoy Hillsboro.
Yeah. That's a good one. Kathy?
I don't know. It don't matter to me. Long as I get to go pulling, I'm happy.
Right. That's a good answer.
That's a really good answer.
Right.
Tom, what's your beverage of choice after the polls? Todd Vaughn wants to know.
Hard water on the rocks. Yes.
On the rocks. Nick?
I kind of like brisk iced tea or a Dr. Pepper.
Okay, fair enough.
We're
Heather?
family.
Heather?
Probably water.
Okay.
For some
Kathy?
reason, I think Heather's the beer drinker. I don't know why.
No.
I know I've never
no,
seen her drink a beer, but I think she would be the one.
No ice cream. Ice cream's where I'm at.
I know that. Ice cream or cheese fries, right?
Yeah. Yes.
She needing them.
I'm good with a root beer.
All right. There's Kathy with the root beer.
Fair enough.
If you guys aren't pulling, what do you do for hobbies if you're not tractor pulling?
Work.
I think
What-
I
what's
see
your-
snowmobiles
what's your
around there, though.
What about all the horses, Kathy? Are you still into horses? Those are cheap.
Oh yeah, right, yes. Heather and I are both into those. For Mother's Day, Tom and Nick and Heather bought me a new baby, so I have something of my own to go show now.
There you
Instead
go.
of a pro stock, we got her a horse.
Yeah. It's kind of it's probably equivalent in price, so it's all good. So.
Yeah, pretty close, pretty close.
Right.
Tractor pulling can be a lot simpler than horse showing.
Yeah, lots less drama.
Right. If you get to the pull, who's the guy you have to worry about the most? Or who scares you the most at the event? Your competition. This guy I got to get around.
Yeah, who was tough to get this year, Nick and Tom, Kathy?
General, I was going to say Jim Milburn.
Jim Milburn.
Nope. But in 4-1 class, honestly,
I think he's trying to say everybody. Greg, I don't know. I lost him there for a second.
I think it was too. Yep.
They're coming back. Are they back?
No. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, you're back. Okay, cool.
When you pull into the pole, everybody in the 4-1 class can win the pole. We just got kind of lucky this year with the draw number and how the tractors work. Under normal circumstances,
Are you guys back?
we're here.
Okay. I lost you for a second there.
Yep.
When we get to the pole, we worry about everybody that's there in our class.
All right. What motivates you to keep pulling with Badger State?
The people. We just love the family atmosphere with the people.
Good. Good.
Everybody.
Anybody you want to thank tonight, Tom, Nick, Kathy, or Heather, before we let you go?
We definitely have to thank a few people that helped us get there. Definitely Lemke's and Helenville are a huge part. They put together the engine for us, and we take it down to Kevin Engelking, and he makes it, along with our help, he makes it run really well. And then Valley, we got to thank Hearts and Al is the driving force behind our team. Without Al, it'd be pretty easy for us to just push him in the corner and say, we don't need to do that. We got plenty of other stuff to do, but Al keeps us pulling.
It probably helps now that he's retired and has a little more time on his hands, huh?
Actually, honestly, that works quite the opposite because now he helps us when he's got time, and he's busier now than he used to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we keep Al pretty busy.
He helps you with the business and excavating?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He runs off-road trucks and rollers and stuff like that.
Okay. Didn't know that. Perfect.
Yeah.
But he is the beer drinker in the crew. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we keep Al busy.
Yep.
So no, it's we just really enjoy the Badger State group.
So everybody listening, if you don't know, Tom is the vice president of Badger State Tractor Pullers too. We've been 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, I think 3 years. Yeah.
3 years. Yep.
Yep. So we help Kelly and everybody kind of get along here with everything.
Yep.
Well, cool. Well, Tom, Nick, Heather, Kathy, thank you for coming on tonight. Congratulations on your points championship, another points championship, and we'll see you at the banquet in about a month.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Blain, Stamm. Blain, can you hear us? This is what happens, Greg, when we got too many farmers and they're out working.
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, I see him. This is the 28 up on the screen right now. This is the 2018 picture from the banquet. That picture is going to be a lot bigger this year, Greg. There's going to be a lot more pro stock pullers in there.
Yes, there will be. If everybody shows up, we're all done picking corn.
Yeah, no, I understand. Blain, can you hear us? I can see him.
Greg?
I can see ya. Hear ya.
Yeah, there you are.
Yep. How you doing? You in your truck?
Hello. Our mic doesn't work.
Oh.
Blain, are you on your Bluetooth or what are you on, bud?
Does the mic work?
Yeah, we can hear you. I just think
Good.
your
How are
internet.
you?
Good.
Good.
I just think you got a little bit of a lag there from your internet, so we'll just work through that. So.
Okay.
Well, first of all, congrats on your 2022 Pro Stock Points Championship. That's a heck of accomplishment. I could say winning a Badger State Points Championship now is one of the toughest ones out there when you look at the quality of Pro Stocks from top to bottom and the number of tractors in it. It's more than just 4 or 5 like it was, a few years ago. That's for sure. So.
Yeah, it's definitely changed. Everybody really stepped their game up the last years, so it's changed a lot.
Right. I think Schultz just left the show, so chasing his dog around. It looks like.
Okay.
What was the toughest? It was a good race right down to the end this year. It came right down to the last event, right?
Yes, it did. Yep, we were only a couple points, me and Brandon, so we had to kind of have our ducks in a row towards the end of the year there. So,
and it was close. Even at I don't know how far ahead of him you were, but it was tight, right? 5
yeah,
feet, maybe?
It was back and forth. We're
losing you again, Blain. I don't know if you can hear me. Step a little closer. Well, if everybody's listening, I know it came right down to the last event, and Blain had to get ahead of Brandon, just stay ahead of him. And if one person would have got him, I don't know, if one person would have got him between them, it would have been a tie if Brandon would have got ahead of him. But it ended up being Blain and Nan came out. So, you back yet, Blain? Jason, or is it my phone?
No, it's Blain. He's got rough signal right now because I can kind of tell he's freezing up a little bit. So
yeah,
Greg,
I can hear him a little bit, but you know he had a Lemke motor in this year too, but he's got the red version of it. One of the few guys.
there you go.
You there?
Yeah, there you are.
hey,
I'm talking for you here right now, so
Yeah.
we can back. Were you in the points lead all year, or was it just at the end you got ahead of it?
No, Brandon was in the lead till about Freeport or so, where he had some engine trouble around Warren, and then we had trouble in Mazamani. So, yeah, it was kind of back and forth all year. So,
yeah, I think he burned a piston in Freeport. He said.
Yeah, I think that or he dropped a valve, either one. But Mazamani, our key came out of the water pump, and that doesn't do things any good when that happens. So luckily we had a week to fix, though. I mean, we were up against the gun, but it could have been a lot worse. So
pistons and sleeves,
turbo, yeah.
Turbo too. Oh, that's not.
Yeah, yeah. They don't like to get that hot.
No, they don't. Nope.
No.
Hey, Blain, one thing I've always wanted to know is can you tell us your pulling history, how it all got started and when it got started and what you started with?
Yeah. I started, back in 1999. I was in MATC in Madison diesel school, and we could have a project. So I bought an old 1466, started fixing it up, and I thought, hey, that'd be kind of neat to go tractor pulling. Well, that was about the year. I was just going to be a hot farm guy. And then that was about the year they changed that you could have a P pump. And so I decided, well, if I'm going to spend, $3,000 back then on a P pump, I might as well put some bigger tires on and go super farm. So I waited another year to bring the tractor out, and then I just started in super farm, and that's how I got started. So hanging around Ray Heron and Frank Molitor, they're kind of close to me. And Gary Brinkmeyer, he was in the pro stock class, so he was a fantasy back then. But that's how you develop things. So
What cubic inch would you have been at 99 or 2000 when you started Super Farm, Blain?
What was that?
What cubic inch would that have been, like 540 or 570 back then in 2000?
It was 640.
It was 640. Okay.
But they had two classes. They had a 9,000 pound and a 10,000 pound Super Farm class. So you pull twice.
Gotcha. And that would have been, was that Badger State then, Elsing? Was that Badger State?
Yep.
Okay.
Wasn't much after that though. We went to pull once, I think, right?
Yep. It was the year I got my tractor. Well, I was just about done with it when they did away with the 10,000. Then I went to 9,300 back in the ATPA days, you know.
Yep. I think we were with ATPA for 5 years.
Yep.
So, and you had a beautiful tractor. I remember it coming out first. It was one of the nicest looking tractors in the club. It was nice right away.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on it, building it, and it was hard back then. You know, it was still hard now, but can only do so much, and that was back when parts are reasonable. Back, you know, they were a lot, but they were better than now. You know, so
I've still got a story about being in Missouri with Blain Stamm, and one night I left and I got home and I had about 10 luggage carts in the back of my pulling trailer.
He told us to put the cooler in.
Me wondering if anybody I knew where they were. Well, I'm not taking that to Missouri. Remember that, Blain?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the statute of limitations are wore off. You guys are pretty safe now on that. So.
I took them all to the hotel here and gave them to them. I didn't know what they do with them.
Hey, Blain, where did your Super Farm end up? Did you sell the Super Farm or what?
I sold the Super Farm in 06. Sold it to Mark Miller. He's from he's out by Farley out there. And, he's been pretty successful with it. It's called Digging Deep, I believe.
Yep, that's a good runner.
Yeah, he's been doing some NTPA stuff. It runs well. I mean, he's had some luck with it. So it was down to Louisville. I think he podiumed in Louisville last year with it. So
awesome.
You know,
yep.
So.
Yeah, Blain, that was one of the questions Brent Geeks asking. Blain, since you won the championship, did you apply for Louisville?
Yeah, I did apply for Louisville.
Awesome. What's the best you've done in Louisville over the years?
I believe the best I ever did, I think I got a 5th down there. That was like the first year I went down there, and we've always we've had some trouble down. I mean, just trying to figure out the track, and hook position is big down there, and of course you're going against the best and the best, so it's not easy at all. So
right.
Yeah.
But that was Super Farm when you got 5th, right?
No, that was Pro Stock.
Oh, was it?
I never took my Super Farm to Louisville. No.
Oh, you didn't?
Nope.
I thought you'd be in there.
Nope, I never made it. I was in back we went to Fort Wayne on the ATPA days. I got 2nd out there. We've had luck out to Fort Wayne, Gordyville. We won that Super Farm and Pro Stock. So we've had luck in Gordyville. So
good. I think that Fort Wayne pull was my favorite indoor pull of all of them. That
was really nice. They had nice facility. It's just too bad I know they struggled with trying to get a crowd there, and that's half to having a tractor pull is you got to have a crowd there. So
right. I believe that's back then it was pretty heavy NTPA country, and then the PPL came in there, or ATPA, whatever it was, and they just didn't want to support it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
But it was fun. But,
if anybody has any questions for Blain Stamm or want to congratulate him on his points championship, just throw it up in the comments. I'll put it up there on the screen. Blain, we know you're busy farming and trucking, so thank you for jumping on with us tonight. And
sorry the internet's not better. I was trying to get back in time, but I got held up in line here in Dubuque, and I'm still in Dubuque now, so it's just this time of year. So
nope, you sound better than Gallutz's did. So because they were they went in and out of the cave. I called it.
Right.
Sorry, my reflection isn't better.
That's okay.
What are you hauling?
Elson's got his mask on for Halloween too, Blain. Don't feel bad.
You hauling gas or what are you hauling?
Hauling propane tonight.
Yeah, propane. Okay.
Yep. trying to get the big last blast of corn drying. I guess there'll be a lot of corn coming out this week. So we were behind all weekend. We're behind farther now. So, but can only do so much in a day. So,
right. I seen a snap from Jared Fredericks yesterday that his terminal where he works in took in 1 million bushels of corn in one day.
Oh yeah, that's quite a place down there that Jared's at.
Where's that at?
Down at it's called Sterling Rail. It's in Sterling, and they do quite a lot. They do a lot of corn there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That is a lot. 1 million bushels. He showed 2 pits. Do they dump it just in 2 pits?
I know there's at least 2 pits there. I don't know how many trucks they can dump at a time though. Seems to me they can dump more than that, but it's been a while since I've been back there. But
yeah.
So,
Jason, you got some questions for Blain?
Yeah. What was a fire extinguisher like in Monroe? Did you catch on fire in Monroe, Blain?
Oh boy, you had me scared there. We made some adjustments for Monroe, like everybody does at the end of the year, and I went tearing down through there, and I could see kind of a white dust towards the end, and I could smell something, and I'm like, man, I just cooked this thing. And I spun it in, and then I seen the big whoosh, and I'm like, boy, that doesn't smell like burnt pistons or anything. And then I kind of look around, and then Lilburn come up, and he says, "Don't worry, that ain't you. That was a fire extinguisher." And I was pretty concerned that we had some trouble, but luckily it was just the fire extinguisher took the brunt of it. So I don't know if it tipped over or something about when the box went forward. It must have been under the pan or something, or under the front part there.
Yeah.
So
it sure made everybody in the sidelines talk about what the heck was that?
Yeah.
Nitrous. It was the nitrous Elsing.
So I'm sitting on the tractor, and I'm smelling this weird stuff, and I'm like, man, I've never smelled that out of this thing before. We've wrecked some stuff before, and I've never smelled anything like that. And then it dawned on me, I was like, yeah, that's a fire extinguisher. That's not me. So
right. At least you weren't on needed it.
Kevin Fossler says congratulations, Blain.
Yep.
Patrick Bolton-Sek says, can you plug your polisher? Can you plug your polisher, Blain? He's looking for a little shout out. So
plug my polisher, you bet. Yeah. Yeah, he polishes my intercooler and my valve cover, stuff like that. Yep.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yep.
Wyatt Schulte says the Monroe Pass was a smooth pass to see in person, so that's awesome.
Yep.
Roger Kasherik says, I remember your super farm. So
yep.
What sheet metal did you have on before the 380? What did you have on the Pro?
I had 1466 on the Pro when we first built it. Terry Blackburn built the chassis, and we were about the first one in Badger State to have a component. Didn't have a very big motor. I actually bought the motor from Dustin Hook in my first Pro stock. It was just a 600 that was in the T-bone, and that was my first engine in Pro stock. So, but yeah, we had 1466 sheet metal, and we were lost when we first started. We couldn't get the water injection to work. We had a lot of trouble them first couple of years, but we kept working at it and learning, and that's what's interesting about it to me, is how you make them all tick, and keep them alive,
Yeah. How many wins did you have this year, Blain?
I don't think I won it all. I was bridesmaid 6 or 8 times, but when you take a bridesmaid to the bootlegger, you're doing pretty good. So
you are. Yep. Right.
So we we were third a bunch. I don't think we won all year long, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you got a tough class, I mean, there was 10 tractors religiously that were, there was no slouches in our class at all this year, and it's going to be tough next year from here on out, basically.
Yeah, I think it's going to be worse next year.
Yeah, I mean,
guys are figuring stuff out.
Randy Baru beat me, so
that's I hate that when that happens.
Yeah.
He said he had to go to Louisville now, though, to redeem himself.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I think, if Robbie comes around a little more and Wildman's had some issues this year, struggles, and I think when they get that figured out, it's going to be even worse, tougher. It's going to be a good class. Everybody gets that figured out.
Yep. And Brandon's brother's building the tractor. When the T-bone, Dustin will get back out. We had some pretty good breakage all year from everybody, really. I mean, but right. guys will get them figured out. I mean, that was, Gary, he's had a new motor, so that was kind of a whole new deal. And there was a whole lot of new in our class, and I thought we represented our class very well to a lot of events. I mean, you put that many pro stocks in Milledgeville, and that was crazy that night.
I think there was 13 there, 14 there.
14. That's crazy for the Carroll County Fair. So
right.
So people are talking about the Badger State Pro Stock class all over the nation. It's as a top, state level organization for sure. And knowing any of these tractors can compete on the national level any day of the week. So you guys this year really put Badger State Pros on the map. So.
And we went to Tolma first part of the year there. We wanted to do some learning with our tires, and by golly, when it was my turn to pull, I pulled a second out of there. And then as the sun went down, the track just come around, and that's just how it is. That's tractor pulling. But I stayed in the top 10, and I was tickled with that. When you're top 10 with that group, you're right there. So
yep. Wyatt Schulte says, Blain, you had 13 top fives out of 17 hooks this year. So that's how you win a points championship right there. Stay consistent. So
yeah.
Alex Hazard said, congrats again, Blaino. Great season. So
Yep, big shout out to the Red Express guys. They helped me spot the cones. Sometimes we had a little short on people helping me out, so we kind of had them watching the track. And it used to be we got spoiled. We'd have 3-4 tractors in our class, so you could park up by the track so you could kind of see everything. Well, when you got 14 of us back there, you don't get to watch the 3 in front of you, and that's how I gauge my run, is the 3 tractors that you're in front of, other than when you're like first hook. And that was tough for me this year because I've always been able to see some things, and when you don't get to see that, you're kind of shooting from the hip. And with these guys in our class, it's hard to do. So yeah, big shout out to them guys for helping me out, and Frederick's helped me too.
Who are some of the specific people, Blain, that help you get to the track and make it all happen every year that you want to thank?
My dad, he comes around. He's a big part of where he put the cone. He's kind of the cone guy, and because he stands on there and watches, and that's a pretty important job. Justin Niesmeyer, he's good at getting the tractor ready. He gets the semi ready to go. Sometimes I end up swooping in there late or get held up somewhere, and he can have the truck hooked up and ready to go. That way, when I get to the shop, all we got to do is load the tractor and get on the way. And it takes a lot if you've ever had a pulling tractor, it takes a lot of commitment, a lot of getting everything ready just to get to go to the pull, let alone all the work you do at the pull. So it's an effort. It sure is. So
yes, it is.
You run. Yes. You got to work on them every night. It's just tough.
Yep, you got to. If you're not working on them, you're on the phone trying to figure something out.
Right.
So it's a labor of love, though. I mean, I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. So it's quite a hobby.
What
Blain, where's your motor come from?
Robbie Lemke built my engine. It's a billet IH, and it done very well this year. We were very, very happy with it, and that's bulletproof. You gotta, that's big in our class anymore, is you gotta have some parts reliability. And if that key wanted to come out of the water pump, I strongly believe we'd have made her all year, with the settings we had it at and the way we were running it. We were fairly conservative and being competitive. I mean, we could have went up into no man's land, but when you got that many hooks, you can't be doing that. You got 3 hooks in 1 week. Why, if you want to go tractor pulling, you better be responsible and just try and beat them on the track other ways,
Right.
Just 'cause you got gobs of horsepower doesn't mean you're going to win. So,
Yep. You got to be there the next night.
yep. You got to show up. So,
Yep.
So, but Robbie does a fantastic job. Weimer Fuel and Air. I got all to say to them. Chad Mayhill does my tires. So, just working with top-notch people, and all you got to do is get it to go down the track. So,
What motivates you to keep pulling with Badger State?
oh, the atmosphere. If it wasn't fun to be hang around you guys, I don't know why, but I wouldn't do it. But the camaraderie from, we can go to competition with each other, and then we'll go to each other's trailer and hang out for a while, and I think I truly miss that. That's a big part of tractor pulling for me, is just hanging around,
Right,
Yeah.
the people.
People. Yep.
Blain,
Interacting
what
with the fans.
Blain, what are some of your favorite polls to go to?
Oh, geez.
What's the
Darlington.
one closest to home? Would it be Warren?
Warren's closest home. We really got in the sweet spot where I'm at. Warren's only 7 miles from where I live. Freeport's 15 miles. Monroe's 20 miles. Darlington's 30 miles. Milledgeville's 35 miles. I mean, we're in half the Badger State pulls are, less than an hour away for me. So
That is, you can thank your president for that. Thank Mr. Greg Elson.
I did that just for you, Blain.
yeah, it's a big journey to go to Plymouth. So
That is for you. That is a big journey.
yeah, well, it's a hike for anybody, but it's just like, it's no different than Ladwig coming down to Milledgeville. I mean, it's just
I drive to all them pulls from there.
Yep.
But he's the same way. He bought a big toter so the whole family can go along and have a good time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is your favorite pull? I never heard that yet.
Oh, my favorite pull is probably Darlington. The amount of people that come to that pull is just crazy. And then when you can put on a good show, if you got a good sled setting, they can let you run a little bit there. But just the amount of people there is I'd take a win at Darlington over some of the pulls we go to that are big Grand National pulls or something, just because everybody knows of you or cheers you on or stuff like that. So
right, that's a big red green war in Darlington too, isn't it?
It is. Yep.
Yep. Hey, the blue one out there in front once.
Oh, that blue one runs pretty darn good, though. That blue one's put it to me a couple times here, so
we're trying to figure out it. Well, not as much as you got me this year, I don't think. But
yeah, well, if you had some trouble though, so
we did. We got it figured out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not loose behind the wheel.
Ooh, yep. Everything went straight.
Yep.
But what's your favorite sled to pull on?
Probably Peterson's.
Yeah.
I really like that sled. Jay Ulenach, I like pulling that, but we don't get to pull that anymore. We pulled that a long time back when I was Super Farm guys. But any of them sleds are competitive, and they all pull different. You got to really change your setup. Some of them,
Yep.
half of it's reading the sled. So
it is. And knowing how far you're going to go, sometimes 370 feet's a long ways.
Yep.
That's a long dang ways.
Yep.
So
I feel for the sled guys sometimes, because you throw our class up there, and depending on who's first hook, how do you set that? I mean, if the track's going to go away, the track's going to get better. I feel for them guys. They got it kind of tough. I mean, we got a tough class, and you got to keep safety in mind when you get tearing down through there, because something would turn loose. So I feel for them guys. They got their hands full. Definitely.
It isn't. It isn't like the guy can reset it, a pro stock and come back. You can't.
Right.
You can't.
Yeah, you're gonna. Especially back when we only had 4 or 5 tractors, 6 tractors, that was really tough to come back. You had to make a decision. You want to work on it this week, or you think we can,
Yeah, well, that's and Baraboo and Randy had they reset the sled on him. It had to happen. You know, I
Yeah.
know he's happy about it, but they took 30 feet off, and the next tractor even went farther than he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the Badger State show. What's up?
Yeah, thank God we reset it because the next tractor would have been in the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's unfortunate for Randy, especially being on a new motor like that. I understand why he didn't want to, but
yeah, new motor in your hometown pull.
Yeah,
and he did come back, and he shouldn't have. You know, I don't know. Everything was all right, but you know,
it's just a feel you don't want to be put in that position, especially with that was early in the year, and man, you don't want to start off the year wrenching. So
nope. I will put it on the trailer every time. I won't come back. I don't care.
How loud is it?
Yep. We're you've got a lot of changes in mind for this year or this winter, or what are you thinking?
Oh, we're trying to decide on some tires now. Boy, before you used to pick from Firestones, you know, and boy, now you got what brand to go with and how many bars and what ply, and you got all kinds of choices.
And who to cut them and what to do, but who has tires? That's a big one.
That's another thing is calling around finding them, and that's the biggest thing. We're going to go up. I mean, we made her through all year on 12 plies, and I got nothing bad to say about them. We used them. I mean, we knew what we had to do with them. But it's just a matter of fact. I think we should probably go to some 14s, but I got some real consistency out of the 12. So,
I'm hearing different things about the new ones too. But I can't afford. I don't know if you're like me, but I've got to buy what's going to work. Because whatever I buy, that's what I got to stick with.
Yep. And that's we bought them tires last year. And then boy, all of a sudden all the 14 ply stuff come out, and everybody's like, "Oh boy, that's never going to work." And I'm like, "Well, I can't get anything different, so this is what we're going to use." And we worked with them, and we got them to get where I knew what they were going to do, which is what I liked about the Firestones. They were always consistent. You knew what you were going to have, and by golly, we got these things to work, and so it's really, that's one of them changes hard to change, you know. Once you find something that works well, that's the key to pulling sometimes, is just stick with what you know instead of trying to copy somebody else. You know?
Well, I know years ago in Limited Pro, I did win points here once, and the only change I made that year was tires, because I thought, well, they're 3 years old, I should probably get a different set, and I went right to the back of the pack with the new tires.
Yep.
You know,
tires, them things, it's a decision.
It is. You need to change when it's working.
Yep.
You got anything, Schultze?
No, I need to wrap it up because we're going to start our Let's Grow polling here in a few minutes. But I just want to congratulate Blain on always being a top-notch competitor with Badger State and having the balls to have a pro stock, because it's a different set of cojones to drive and own and pay for one of those. So thank you, Blain, because they are by far the most requested class at the Badger State by a promoter, and they put on the best show, and the crowd always just loves a pro stock. They give you goosebumps, Blain. So.
Yep.
And Blain, your equipment is always top notch, looks beautiful, and adds to our show greatly. So I'm glad to have you as part of Badger State. Not that I'm anything in it, but just having guys like you around has been really good for our club.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And boy, the red ones are getting numbered here. I'm out there all by myself, so anybody wants to build a red pro stock, I'd entertain some help.
Yeah. Yep. You got Gary there yet, and Link if he shows up.
He's got a little different engine in there, so yeah. I'm red on red. So
right. And I think the red motors this year, Link's tractor and your tractor, they ran better than the green versions. I hate to say that.
Well, we worked with mine. I mean, we pay attention to the computer, and you got to make changes, and you got to use your data that you got to get more performance, but you can't tear it up either. That's a lot of the problem. So you gotta use your knowledge. But no, I just want to really thank everybody that helps friends and pullers. It's a big chore at these events, and hats off to Lemke Machine. they're great to work with. So without any of these guys that helped me, Justin, my dad, Ray Aaron helped me get the motor in. Nick Cunningham, he was a big one this winter that helped me when we finally got our engine. We only had a couple weeks to get it in for Louisville, and I got to thank him. He come up night after night there to help me get things shoehorned in there. So it's getting to be a challenge to get her all under the hood. So
Right.
so
Well,
yeah, congrats on the points championship, and we'll see you in about a month at the banquet, okay?
alrighty, I sure appreciate it.
thanks, Blain.
Have a good one.
Yep.
Greg, another successful show, sir. So
Yep. I think it went well.
yep,
So-
it's good. It's good to do this, and we enjoy all the people jumping in and commenting. And we're going to be here every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for Down and Dirty with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. We're going to work through a points championship, and then Greg's going to take the show on the road. We're going to do some shop tours, show you some behind the scenes of your Badger State truck and tractor pullers, and it's going to be a great time. I think really neat. Greg and I have been talking off the air, and Stranley as well. John's not with us tonight. He's out drinking beer. I mean, he's out doing trick-or-treating with his son, Ross, and having a good time there. So I appreciate you doing this, Greg. And
Yep.
yeah, I don't.
The first shop tours are going to be, well, we're just still harvest. They're probably going to be pretty close to my area here.
Yep.
Because it's hard to get away. But once the harvest is done and in December there, we'll be able to get some miles under us on Mondays. I hope that's my plan.
Yep.
To go do that.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next Monday at 7 o'clock. Thanks,
Yep.
Greg.
Bye.